Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about another ReZero episode. We are season 2 episode 30 and it's called A Step Forward, and we left off where Subaru was doing the trial. Well, we saw his past, and then that was the trial that was facing his past. And then apparently he passed it, from it showed in the beginning of this episode. And the last time was when he was in the classroom with Echidna. And then Echidna explained to him that she created that entire world for him. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't really real. But for Subaru, it's like it felt really real. And pretty much that was her telling him that it was a fake world, and that she pretty much wanted him to finish the whole trial. And then she explained that there's 3 trials. Mm-hmm. So the first one he passed, and then he was gonna go, or Echidna wanted him to go to the next one, but Subaru said that he's not the one who's going to beat this and free the sanctuary. It's going to be Amelia. And it almost sounded like Echidna was doubting that Amelia would be able to do it. And it almost seems like Echidna believes more with Subaru more than Amelia.
Yeah.
So that's where we were basically left off. And so he left that world, and then he comes back to the sanctuary, I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it feels like it was a common theme in this episode, that people were doubting Amelia. More, it was, what's his name? Garfiel was the other one that really expressed his feelings about it towards the end. But it was just interesting because it seemed like Echidna knew something was special about Subaru when she was talking to him. Did it feel that way to you when you were watching that first part?
I mean, everybody thinks that. It seems like a lot of them thinks that Subaru's like somebody special,
But I feel like maybe she knows something about him. Like maybe she knows he's from a different world.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's the feeling I got when she was talking to him at the beginning.
See, for me, I got that feeling.
Well, she would definitely know he's from a different world because of the memories.
But maybe she created it based on his memories, what she said. Yeah. Right?
But that means she knows.
It's like a fragment of his memory or whatever.
So do you think there's other people then that are from different worlds? Because she didn't seem too surprised from that.
I don't know. Maybe. That would kind of make sense.
I don't know. But
I don't know. Oh, yeah. She was able to watch him. Because remember she mocked him when he was crying. Like really ugly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was funny. Yeah, she did watch him.
And she's got a funny personality too. She's not just like a stale character.
Yeah.
It's just like but it was fine. But that was the only part we saw of Echidna during this episode, was that first few minutes of the beginning. And then it moved on to Subaru back at the sanctuary trying to just comfort Amelia, because it seemed like she was not doing as well in her trial, and she was just on the ground there, and then she was crying. And then I noticed too what she was saying is like she was asking for her dad at the end before it cut to the next scene.
Yeah.
Do you remember that part?
Parents. Yeah.
So I'm not sure what kind of, because I don't think he knows her backstory at all.
No, I don't.
From what I remember.
Yeah, I feel like Roswaal does though, because I mean he was the one who found her.
Mm-hmm. And then, do you think he knows before? Because from the OVA, it's like she had woken up from this ice.
Like she was frozen, and then she was the only one who got unfrozen, I guess.
Yeah, and then she has those memories until she showed up with Roswaal. But does he know the memories before she got frozen too?
I don't know.
And are those the memories she's facing right now?
I guess it would be. But I would assume that Roswaal would know something about Amelia. Mm-hmm. Because...
that would mean that she is facing those memories, right?
Yeah.
But in the OVA, she didn't remember any of that. Anything before she got frozen.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe now she does, but I don't know. But that's what she was facing, like her memories, and you know how everybody pretty much thinks that she's a witch, and probably she was going through it.
You think she was going through that beforehand?
Yeah, probably.
Because it feels like it could be either one right now.
I don't know, but all I know is she's going through her past, and obviously it's not a good past, and we all knew that she didn't have a good past. So she failed that first trial, I think twice, the first 2 times that she tried.
Mm-hmm. And then, like you said before, there's 3 phases of the trial they have to face to beat it and free the sanctuary. So there's those 3, and then also the other information we got in this episode was the pink-haired little elf girl is a half-elf, and then her name is Ryuzu, and she's also like the representative of the people in the sanctuary, which is weird. And she's like, they said she's really old, but she looks like a kid, and Subaru's excited about it.
Yeah.
And we found out that information when they were at the table after that first night that Amelia failed the trial. And for some reason, Rem didn't want Subaru to say anything about her.
Like, basically, don't say anything dumb. I feel like if he says something, if he's not careful and he says too much information, that something might trigger that elf. Or if you say too much information, then you just don't know if the elf is an enemy or because somebody that would help you. So I don't know, like, that's what I was thinking.
Because
later on, Ram explained to him that, like, be careful, like, be aware of your surroundings, like, just be careful and just be alert.
Yeah, because she said that not everyone in the sanctuary wanted the barrier to go down, and she said you need to be careful who you trust, because anyone could be an enemy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
anyone could be an enemy. So you think it was that? Because she also,
I feel like it was part of it.
Because she was also there right before he went to talk to Echidna, when he went to the tea party part. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
She's in the forest.
Mm-hmm. And then we did see that there's, like, a lot of them that looks just like that elf. I don't know if you remember that part.
Where was that?
Like, the beginning, like, when they got into the forest. See, I might be... I don't know. I thought that's what I saw.
There was, like, the beast ones, is what I saw. I didn't see a lot of elves.
I need to go back, but I can't remember. But I swear I thought there's a lot of them that looks just like that elf. That one elf.
I can go double check.
Yeah.
But we had that whole conversation, and then at that table we also learned that you can't just leave even if you are not half-blood. Like, the full-blooded people or pure-blooded people can leave, but they would just be
like a shell.
Empty shells, because the barrier separates your soul from the physical body. And that was Otto's idea, to try to get everybody out.
Yeah.
But they knew that wasn't going to work, so the rest of the episode was Amelia trying the trial again, and then also the other major part was Subaru confronting Roswaal about what was happening.
Roswaal called Subaru,
and
then he told him to not bring Emelia with him, because it needs to be a conversation that private. Emelia can't know.
Yeah. He pretty much, because he only was going to say, keep supporting her. Keep supporting her.
Because the ultimate goal is to get her to win the election.
Mm-hmm. But then, I guess Subaru got upset from that. And that's when he was like, where were you this whole time? And you could have been there and you could have saved all these people.
And we were wondering, too, like, where the heck was he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anybody could save these people, it's going to be him.
That led us to finding out Roswaal is, what is that word? Like utilitarianist, where he's like the greater good for the most people. Because all he's caring about, his end goal, is making Amelia be the new ruler. And he said, like he was just like any means necessary. Like it was all part of his plan. Like he doesn't care if the people died. Yeah,
and Subaru was saying that all those people could have been saved if he was there. Mm-hmm. But apparently Roswaal planned all of this, like the, what do you call it? The fingers or Betelgeuse, the witch, the cult being there. he planned everything, and then he had enough faith in Subaru that he did all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, and basically Roswaal was saying, well, did it not work? Mm-hmm. And so it's like,
yeah, and that got Subaru even more mad. He tried to punch Roswaal, but Ram stopped him.
Yeah.
And then we already knew this beforehand, but she just has this undying dedication to him. Like, no matter what, she's gonna support him in his decisions, Roswaal's decisions.
And Roswaal was saying that if it was, it's basically, he's basically saying, if you didn't do this, then this Amelia's situation would have been the same. There wouldn't be any progress.
She wouldn't be in any position to rule later.
The people wouldn't respect her, but now people love her.
Yep.
People wouldn't even think she's competent at all if Roswaal was the one to save everybody.
Yeah. Do you think he knows something about Subaru too, about his power?
Probably. I feel like Roswaal knows a lot of stuff that he doesn't say. Because
Subaru had a point. He's like, why would you put so much trust in someone who's so useless? When, like, at the time they knew each other.
No, yeah.
He has a huge point on that.
I've always thought that Roswaal knows a lot of stuff about everybody and about all this situation that's happening. And that's why I love Roswaal, because he's so interesting to me.
Yeah, he's mysterious.
It's like I want to know more about him more than I want to know about any other character.
Me too. I want to see
Beatrice too.
Yeah, and speaking of her, Subaru was gonna take the villagers back home because they were able to go through the barrier.
Yeah.
And that's why you brought up Beatrice. Ram was talking to Subaru before they left, and Roswaal told Ram to tell Subaru that if he has any issues or if he's worried about facing Frederica, that
go to Beatrice.
If he's having trouble, just tell Beatrice. Roswaal said to ask the question. Like, just tell her that phrase. And then Ram didn't know anything about it. Like, I don't know the details of it, but she said everything would change after that.
Yeah.
And that's all they said. Which was weird because before that, he was talking to Garfield and how him and Frederica don't get along. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Their brother and sister. Do you think it's just because one's outside the barrier and he's in?
I feel like...
Or do you think Frederica's like orchestrating something that caused these people to be in the barrier?
I don't know, maybe.
That's what it seems like.
Maybe she should have been there with them, but for some odd reason she's outside.
Yeah. And then he also mentioned too that he was like, she was sending people there. Like, for example, Amelia, she gave him the necklace. And Ram even mentioned that Subaru was like, he did that noble deed and saved her. Do you remember that? Right before they were leaving?
No, I remember that part, but I'm thinking what it means.
I don't
know. I thought she meant, like, when he took that necklace and from Emelia when, Amelia passed out.
Yeah, that's what she meant.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But do you think if it had stayed on her, something, like she would have got killed or something?
I don't know. I feel like she would have been the one who got transported to wherever.
Echidna.
Yeah. Instead of Subaru.
That's different. Well, that's interesting. But that was like the main points of this episode, and it wraps up with like the credits are rolling and the episode's still showing, which I love. That they get back to the mansion and it's empty, and you can see right away that the atmosphere of the episode changes because the sky's red and you can see all the shadows on the buildings and stuff. And then nobody's there when he knocks on the door. Then he goes in, he's looking through, he doesn't see anybody. Then he remembers Rem and he starts looking for Rem. And he's running down the hallways, and then all of a sudden he trips while he's running down the hallway. And he looks
his gut on the floor.
Like his whole stomach's just out there.
As soon as I saw that gut, first thing I thought was that Vowel Hunter. I was like, she's back.
Yeah.
Right there.
And then it was confirmed that Elsa's back right there.
Thanks for confirming my suspicions.
Right away.
Well, what did you think?
I knew it was her.
Okay, thank God.
But it was just, we hadn't seen her since like the first few episodes of the first season. So I like that they brought her back and they didn't just like leave her story unanswered, nothing going on.
Yeah.
But now we're wondering where Subaru is going to restart from.
Yeah.
Because a lot has happened. A whole bunch has happened.
Yeah. I feel like he's gonna go back to, what do you call it? I feel like he's gonna go back to the sanctuary, but after he had already passed that first trial. Like he had already finished the first trial.
Like at the beginning of this episode, kind of?
Probably. That's what I'm thinking.
That'd be interesting. Because he might even go back really far.
I hope not. He better not. I don't think they're going to do that. Because if they do that, then, like, what's the point?
It would be so crazy if they went back to when they were still at the mansion before they went to the sanctuary.
Maybe.
That would be crazy if they did that.
But then it's like redoing everything and...
Yeah, because a lot has happened. I think... But this show's crazy. This is unpredictable, what they do.
Yeah, so, we'll see on the next episode where he's gonna restart or what's gonna happen, basically. And then from then on, hopefully we get to see Beatrice and Frederica and then Rem, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And see how they're doing. Because I just really want to see Beatrice.
Yeah. Alright, y'all. Thank y'all for listening and for watching. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And make sure y'all like and subscribe if y'all enjoyed the episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.